stuff, you're going to kill your own teammates. But this match, I guess we should look at how the games went before. We had Vici Gaming play against MVP Space. That was a 3-1 for MVP, where they won Lijiang Tower, Temple of Anubis, and Hollywood. Or EnVision, the only map they did win was King's Row, but they won against Flash Wolves, and Flash Wolves dropped King's Row twice.
Yeah.
So either that's A, them being bad at King's Row, or B, these two teams being really good at it. And we know Vici in the past have been good at King's Row, so I'm assuming it's going to be the latter of those two.
All right, so it is a 4-game set, and we're starting it off here on Control. It is going to be Oasis for our first match, and now this is going to be telling, right? What does Saini play here? What does Yaki play here? Yaki more than likely going to go with the Pharah, but will Saini try to match that?
I think so. I think there's a lot of potential to unleash Saini, and that's like the new style of EnVision when we talked to him was we want to unleash Saini. We want to make him a DPS star and support him in the ways he needs to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can see Widow out of him. We can see Pharah, Soldier. There's a lot of different heroes he can play in. And to be honest, I feel like he's always been a really good DPS that just doesn't get the credit he deserves.
All right, and so now we are loaded up. Our first match of the day, EnVision taking on MVP Space. We are, of course, here on Oasis, and it's City Center. We're going to be starting it off. I wonder if we're going to get any environmental kills with the cars today.
I would hope so.
I'm hoping.
Something satisfying.
I've only cast one game with that.
We had it happen at OWPS.
Did we?
I don't know if it's you and me or
I think it might have been with Hex.
Me and Hex, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Things will be kicking off. We already see one Pharah for Yaki. We see Otto on Tracer. So Pharah Tracer up against the triple DPS out of EnVision.
We have seen a lot of teams run the triple DPS, but not so much with the Winston, more with the Diva, where they go, I guess it's a quad DPS at that point. But Saini now, no pressure on him quite yet, so he does have these line of sights.
Let's keep this in mind, because not only if you're Yaki here, you do have to worry about Jaru somewhat, because the Genji can really do some decent work against you. But Saini, you have two threats against you, and Saini can hit some ridiculous shots, as we did see against Flash Wolves. Not hitting anything just yet, but there's been so much Widow in this tournament. I'm really excited to see that.
Vision starts it off, but Gravy getting the kill onto Kuki, but now the reses do come out as a full 6v6 once again, but Jaru is low. Yaki's still on top, getting these rockets off. He's going to have to be careful here as the Winston is on top of him and gets him in mid-air, but during that time, it's just MVP cleaning up the ground.
And I know EnVision have a game plan to deal with MVP Space, talking to him earlier on, saying that they think Fuse is the weak link of the team.
Okay.
And they expected him to be on Mercy. They said his Mercy was always out of position. He got picked up a lot in these fights. They have swapped him over to the Lucio for this map, at least in particular. And Undyne's going to be playing the Mercy in the meantime.
And speaking of swaps, Saini now got that Widowmaker. He's going to be picking up the Cowboy. McCree coming in for him. So he resets his ultimate. While on the side of EnVision, they really weren't able to build up much at all, as Chain has also swapped off. He's going to be picking up the Diva now. Yeah,
so obviously a lot of swaps means you're not going to have ultimates. We're going to see the fight break out initially with Saini, but the first man to go down, and Yaki. I feel like it's like something out of Willy Wonka here. You're floating up not into a fan, but you're floating up into missiles, as Yaki's able to just rain down terror from above.
They're trying to answer back. Saini has been brought back with that resurrection, but instantly he's conk blasted off. There's the boop to get the Diva. Gets a little extra ultimate charge with that melee mid-air. And already MVP Space, they're at 55%.
Yeah, retaking. I don't know if I like the Widow. I would have liked to have seen Pharah and Mercy out of EnVision. Saini, ridiculously good on Pharah. I think he could easily challenge the likes of Yaki if he's able to. The only downside is it's really hard to retake a point if you're playing Pharah. It's better to hold it than to have to retake it.
All right, Yaki just raining down the rockets, spamming them as EnVision are trying to find their opening. A body shot onto Jaru. Takes him down low. He will get healed up as Saini just not able to connect with these shots quite yet. Yaki doing a great job just playing the roofs.
The thing is that they're playing in such an odd position, the Mercy and the Pharah, that you can't discord them there.
Fire was forced to use that Transcendence early as the Diva and the Tracer jumped right on top of him. There's a self-destruct out. That forces them into the waiting arms of Yaki, who comes in with a two-man barrage.
98%. And with that wipe coming through, yeah, they're going to touch the point, but they're not going to have the men there. They did get killed somehow. Yaki did eventually fall as he eventually gets rezzed back up to fight, but McGravy's going to fall again. And I think that's going to be it. This was EnVision's choice, I'm going to say. An MVP Space taking City Center without dropping a single percent.
It didn't look like they were challenged at all, really.
No.
They dictated every single engagement where they were going to take it, and EnVision were forced to react. And with the triple DPS composition like that, you don't want to get engaged upon. There are so many squishy targets. Diva can focus down anyone on that lineup.
And I think The Widow, it wouldn't have been a bad thing. Like, it would have been a decent possibility. But the problem was he was not able to get the angle he needed to shoot. And for him to get that angle, he would have to leave his entire team and go off by himself, waiting for Otto to just jump out of nowhere and catch him out. So it wasn't really a good opportunity for him to really make it work, I'd say.
Okay, so University is going to be our second point here. As MVP Space, they're going to go for that 2-2-2 dive setup that we are so all familiar with. On the opposite end, we have a Roadhog sighting coming out from McGravy, and Sandy's just going to stick instantly onto that McCree.
I like this a lot. You have a double threat. You have the Roadhog hook, you have the flashbang out of Sandy. McGravy, I mean, he'll get bursted down here. If they lose this fight, it's not a big deal. And I think they have a good comp to deal with this 2-2-2 dive that MVP are using.
The reses came in, but McGravy, as soon as he was back into that, was able to take out Cookie. So now it's EnVision that's starting off with a team fight win. They will take the point and force them back. Great hook to get Undyne right back into that fight and take him down.
There's a decent amount of staying power. So you have two beefy tanks who can both act as DPS. So basically, it's quad DPS here if we're going to count D.Va as a DPS hero now. And then you have the Discord orbs. You Discord an orb, or you Discord a hook target, they're going to die no matter what. So we're seeing MVP switch things up here, realizing that double tank is not going to work against this.
Cookie did this before in their first matches on Thursday, where he swaps off onto the Widowmaker, and they just go for that solo tank. Here's the blade out from Otto, already finding Shane, takes out Fozix. That is the res gone now. Otto with the 3K. That's going to be MVP Space. As soon as they clean this up, flipping the point, EnVision only able to get 37.
Yeah, Shane, he got desuited before in the last fight, before this one took off, and then was never able to get his mech back. So he gets easily punished by Otto diving in. We know Otto is a really good Genji, what we saw just on the first day against Vici. And Otto's not really being pressured, even though he's against the hook and the flashbang. Look at his position at Yaki. He's got post bomb. He's going to easily stick this. Oh, McGravy comes in!
Oh, Yaki could have had the heroic player. Transcendence is going to be used as a Deadeye comes out from Saney. He was waiting. But also, we have the Valkyrie being used on the side of MVP Space. Now the whole hog will come out for EnVision, and McGravy is going to have to be the recipient of that res. As the hook comes out, doesn't quite connect, but still, the man advantage in favor of MVP Space for now.
Oh, Blake coming in yet again. Otto building up so quickly, gets the kill, and a Fozix shuts down any sort of potential res and cleans up fire.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Otto. Wow.
So Jamerson, something we haven't touched on yet is that EnVision are already 0-1 in the group. If they lose this, it puts MVP Space at 2-0 and Flash Wolves are 2-0. That almost solidifies if they lose this match, not making it through to next week. So this is a very big game for them, and they really need to start to step up here.
Yeah,
We haven't worked out the math yet.
MVP Space, actually, if they get this win, they just move on.
Yeah.
There's no way. So this is a very important match. Yaki starts it off. Fire has gone down, and so now it's a 6v5. Will Fozix be able to get the res for him? Here comes a self-destruct out of Shane as the dive continues on the side of MVP Space.
Well, the self-destruct was used, though, and McGravy gets boosted back up, or built back up. As the Pulse Bomb's going to miss, they're actually gets funneled into a tight area where Roadhog's going to really excel, but the Death Blossom out of Kuki, you can see him sitting pretty far back here, waiting for them to get the engagement, and Jaru has managed to flank around the backside. Saney switched to Farah.
Oh, Saney has switched, but maybe it's too late right now. Fuse being able to bring back Kuki. He's going to use that Valkyrie form to get that extra healing. The Death Blossom takes out Fozix. It's 99%. And with this, MVP Space are poised to take the first map as Otto finishes it off with that blade. They're just trying to clean up McGravy here. With that, Jaru going down, they should be able to secure it, and MVP Space started off with the first map here in day number 3.
Fozix having a really rough game that match, not because he was playing bad, but because Otto was just all over him, like white on rice. He just stuck to that man. Every time the blade was up, he went for him. He had the pressure of Yaki on the Tracer attacking him constantly. He was never able to get safe. I feel like maybe switching to Farah earlier on when they saw the Reaper come out would have been a better play. Maybe McGravy go McCree, and then you have the escapability for Fozix to just escape any sort of dive coming his way, have more longevity in the fights, and then still have the McCree to help deal with that Genji and use the Hog as well. But MVP Space looking like what we expected, looking like what we saw just 2 days ago.
Yeah, Otto
looking brilliant.
Continuing his performance from Thursday. Without skipping a step whatsoever. His Genji blades, time and time again, and you saw how quickly he's been building it up too.
Yeah, very fast. Like Arhan, like we saw
every other fight, or like every 1.5 fights. Like, it was nuts.
I mean, that's what HOD's going to give you, right? Just a big squishy ult battery for your team to take advantage of.
So with that, MVP Space already leading Win 1-0. We'll be moving on to map number 2 after this break.
开了吗？时间加速器我都能搞定，这肯定没问题。全体守望先锋，全体守望者们，还是不对。所有曾是守望者的伙计们，我是温斯顿，那当然是我了。30年前，智能机械向人类宣战，世界各国无能为力。直到他们召集了一些英雄精英，为了使人类摆脱致谢危机的威胁，守望先锋诞生了。你们成为了人类历史上最伟大的和平守护者和开拓者。你们之所以被选中，是因为你们有能力和实力。你们之所以加入，是因为……这些你们都知道。听着。人们认为没有我们，他们的生活会更好。他们甚至把我们当作罪犯。他们摧毁了我们这个大家庭。但是你们看看，现在必须有人站出来。我们必须站出来。我们可以再次改变这个世界。这个世界比以往更加需要我们。你们来不来？
And welcome back. Our MVP for map number 1 there on Oasis was Otto, and of course, why not his Genji? Again, a stellar performance so far.
So tilted by one of those stats. Which one is it?
Objective kills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that means EnVision never got the chance to fight on the point. The only times they were able to was the beginning of the map. And every other time, it was Otto diving them, the rest of the team diving them. And you can see here, they were never able to really get close to the point to really throw up a contest.
Yeah, EnVision on University, they weren't able to win out the first fight. And then from there, excuse me, not University, on City Center. From there, MVP Space, they were dictating the terms of every single engagement, engaging upon them. And
who would have thought diving with the dive comp would work?
Yeah.
Maybe there's some Chinese teams that we've seen over the course of OWPS that need to learn. It's a thonker. It's a real thonker.
It is a thonker.
But we have the next map coming up. This should be EnVision's choice. And there's well, we got to see actually them do quite a few interesting choices. And with one of the new maps into the pool, I know they put a lot of time into Junker.
A lot of teams were taking it there because you had that unknown factor mode, how teams prepare for it and how much prep they've done for it. It kind of leaves it up to become a bit more of like a deathmatchy style.
For some reason, China loves that map.
Yeah.
We saw Horizon Inter Colony more than I think we've ever seen just in OWPS. It was definitely one of the most picked assault maps.
Definitely when it was in the pool.
But what was your thoughts? I mean, the thing is, it's really hard to judge EnVision off of Oasis just now because it wasn't close. We didn't get to see much out of EnVision. We just got to see that they were caught off guard by this dive over and over again. I mean, I don't think I said Kyoku once, and he's actually playing on the team.
Yeah,
You said Kuki because he's playing Reaper, but that's it. Like we haven't really talked about anyone else except Yaki and Otto for this team.
I mean, they were the main contributors in
Yeah.
almost every single team fight up to this point, but this is the opportunity that EnVision have. I mean, we're going back to Junkertown. They weren't able to beat Flash Wolves on it last time.
No. There was a battle, a sniper battle between Zonda and Saini.
Yeah.
And I don't actually know who won that more often than not.
It went back and forth.
I think so. I think it went right back
I think
and
it was
forth.
mostly Saini. I want to say it was mostly Saini. We saw it also on King's Row, the Widow battles between the two of them. Remember, there was the Saini headshot, Rez.
Do it again,
Second
son.
headshot. Do it again.
Yep.
Do it again. All right. So, yeah, Junkertown. We've seen a lot of different things coming out from Junkertown.
Saw a lot
namely,
of Orisa.
a lot of Orisa.
I'm happy about that.
I like it.
Should probably get some play.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of Orisa Widowmaker with Flash Wolves using that, putting Zonda behind the shield, making him unkillable for the most part. We haven't
Reapers
seen
and
any
Hogs.
Bastion yet. I'm a little
No
sad.
Bastions quite yet.
My raid
Quite
games
yet.
clearly proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Because there's Bastion every map.
All right. And so, will we see the Bastion? Will we get our first Bastion sighting of day number 3? I mean, we saw some Bastion the other day, but we'll see. Now as we are loaded up here onto Junkertown.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting map, I think, for both these teams. I don't know how much MVP Space has really practiced it, but we'll see. As Kuki already coming out with the Widowmaker right off the bat, but how is he going to deal with Saini, who, again, has the shield protection, has a damage amp too. They can pull that old Korean strat of discording and damage amping to instant kill those low HP targets.
Yeah, no, just even a body shot, fully charged body shot onto a Tracer takes him out, but there it is. Saini gets dove on. It's going to be the res coming out as Jaru is finally able to take out Kuki, but still, is it going to be enough? Chain is down. It's a 6v5 in favor of the offense, and MVP Space continue to push forward. Fire will go down to Yaki, and with that dive, Otto is going to be able to reset.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Widowmaker here in particular because there's just so much dive, and MVP have dove so well on Oasis. I don't think you can commit to Widowmaker anymore. You're going to have to switch off this.
Maybe
you're
go
just
for
gonna
like
get
a
killed.
Death Bally style,
Again,
bring out the Zarya.
Pharah's not bad here. What's going to kill you is Pharah, besides Kyoku on the Diva. You have so much area to play with out here. I mean, obviously, Pharah choosing right away for the defending side's rough because they can come out with a Widow. You can die, and then you're already down a man. But at least in this position, it's hard to dive a Widowmaker in this window.
We see Yaki on the lurk. He has that pulse bomb. He's just trying to whittle down the tanks, waiting for the rest of EnVision to make their way on out, but that leaves the window of opportunity open. Shane goes down. Saini just not able to get these shots yet, quite yet. There's the blade out for Otto. He picks up one. Will he get any more off of it? I mean, there are very few bodies left for him to find, and so with that, MVP Space, they're going to secure the first checkpoint.
Yeah, so now we're going to see a Pharah switch up coming into the second phase. I think it's a smart choice. Gravy's still on the Diva, and Shane has switched over from Orisa to Winston. Now, Jaru, we talked about him quite a bit. Haven't seen him on the kill feed much, but that's just due to, well, most of the kill feed being red, being MVP's way. But I think there's an opportunity here for Tracer on second point in particular to really make something happen.
Well, Jason, you got your wish. We've got the Pharah sighting coming out for Saini now as we move into second phase here of Junkertown.
The BM emote. Blinking when he does the emote to just warp around. You can already see Jaru struggling in this, well, obviously he's on the low ground, so it's hard to be able to beat Yaki there.
We have to remember that during during contenders, that Jaru was primarily the Genji Doomfist player, and you know he's picking up his Tracer role right now as the battle does break out. It's going to be Otto that starts it off. Shane goes down. He's the recipient of the res. Here's a self-destruct though. Will it catch out onto anyone? No. MVP Space expertly kite back. So the fight continues.
Yeah, they have a pulse bomb out of Jaru though. We can turn this around. Yaki's still waiting with his own. It's a Discord onto Shane's going to be put up to him. Fire though takes down Undyne though. Most importantly, he takes out the other Zen, but he's actually really out of position here. Eventually going to fall to Yaki, spotting him out. And it looks like just a slow win here for MVP Space.
Yeah, Phozix was actually one of the first frags there in that first team fight, and so without that Mercy, without the tempo res, you just really can't fight back into these. And with that, I mean, 3 minutes and 25 seconds left on the clock as MVP Space, they're going to secure second.
Definitely a map they seem to have been practicing. Saini hasn't been able to do too much on the Pharah.
Yeah, he's only at 53% charge.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He died like relatively early, I guess, in the last fight. He wasn't one of the last men alive. But MVP, I mean, they've been sitting on some ultimates here. Yaki didn't use pulse bomb before. Saini's going to take him down with the damage and rocket. But Otto still has Blade, and Otto has a hell of a lot of targets he wants to focus down on. Fire, he's going to be under so much pressure from it. Otto, the door closes. Game of Thrones all up in here on Junkertown.
Oh, Fuse also caught out in there, but I like that. They lost Yaki to that damage-boosted rocket. They could have rezzed back into it, but they knew the spawn distance was close enough for Yaki to make it back in there. And so they only lose minimal amount of time at this point. They still have 4 minutes left.
It's really aggressive hold, Jamerson. Like the rockets, it's like hard to miss, and there's so much splash damage that goes to the entirety of them. And you're gonna see, you know, Fire getting a nice little kill there. You just lock them into these areas, and they're gonna need some sort of way to work around this with the defense matrix, which doesn't last that long. So you're still gonna take chip damage here or there.
We saw Undyne just a moment ago getting bullied around by Jaru. He's just blinking around, taking him out, and so now MVP Space, they're working up towards a lot of ultimates for this next fight. There's only 2 online right now. They're about to get both support ultimates up, and we'll see how the Valkyrie comes into play here. Yaki gets spotted out instantly by Jaru, but it's going to be Yaki who was able to get that health pack. And so Phozix has to bring back Shane once again as they fight into this. There is the Valkyrie form. Phozix is taken to the sky right now. Saini tries to go for that barrage, but he will be forced out of the sky. And Blade once again from Otto.
They got the res onto Saini though, so the barrage comes down. They force out the Blade. McGravy gets a nice double kill on a D.Va and onto Mercy. McGravy looks like they will continue to hold. I mean, thing is, first 2 points aren't like really difficult to take. If you can put up this defense here on 3rd point and hold this door, there's a very good chance EnVision can pull this one back. So this is actually a really strong start out of them. I like the switch out of Kuki though to Roadhog to deal with Shane, to deal with McGravy. You hook them in, you discord him, you kill him right away, and you force that res right off the bat.
Now 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Jaru, spotted out by Yaki once again, is forced to back away. EnVision have been doing a great job holding on to this, but that's the pulse bomb along with the rocket booster kill. Now, do they have the secondary res? They do not, as Phozix falls, and now MVP Space will break the defensive hold coming out from EnVision.
I just like how they're kind of baiting in Phozix. It's like, yeah, we killed your guy, come res him, buddy. Come pick him up, and then right when he jumps in, everyone, it's like the call's made, and there's a switch that's flicked within MVP. Everyone focuses him down. It's exactly what you need to do. You take him completely out of the fight, and completely out of contention here.
I mean, he was also like one of the focus points in their phase matchup during Contenders. In their
to focus Phozix down?
Yeah, focus Phozix down. Raucus on the Sombra was doing it time and time again. But there we go. They've already started off, 2 kills going over. It's going to be Shane that gets the resurrection once more as the Transcendence is going to dissipate on the side of MVP Space. Will Jar will be able to find anything. He takes the Mega Health Pack. It's the self-destruct that takes out Saini.
Goku getting resuited back up, and Otto coming in with the Blade a second time. Phozix gonna fall, Fire gonna fall. And that's gonna be a quick little team wipe coming in through here. And Saini's gonna have his barrage, but what's a barrage really gonna do against Defense Matrix and the Hook? I don't know how well it's gonna work out here, but they need to have something really happen. They need to have some ultimate save this map for them. There's still a minute left to go on the clock, and MVP Space have another pulse bomb to use.
Yeah, but EnVision are coming up towards 5, ultimate 6 now, almost online. They're gonna go ahead and use that Transcendence along with the barrage, forcing out the double res from Fuse. Yaki went for that pulse bomb, did not connect onto Phozix's. Fuse is just holding on, trying to back away, and they will.
I really like Phozix popping Valkyrie there. Again, it's like, you don't want to be the first Mercy to ult, right? And yeah, you get 2 reses, but the AoE healing you can do with the Mercy when you have Valkyrie popped is insane. It's ridiculous. So you need to be able to match the health per second with the health per second. That's why you always see Trance v Trance, and now you're seeing Valkyrie v Valkyrie. Really important to be able to use that, and really important to be able to keep up with Fuse's ult generation percent, because Phozix, he's been on the back end. He's been killed a lot. Saini's keeps dying. It's really hard to keep his ult, ult charge going.
28 seconds left as MVP Space. They push forward off the pick on to EnVision's Fire, and Shane will fall once again. They don't have the res for this. Phozix does not, as they're going to go ahead and use that Transcendence to double down into this fight. And there we go, Saini trying his best to keep this alive, but Kuki has so much damage with this Roadhog. He's going to take a quick breather here as the Hook doesn't quite connect onto that Primal Rage, but he's got the whole hog to push back Shane. And with that, MVP Space should be able to complete out the map.
Yeah, but they're going to complete in overtime. So honestly, that is a big win for EnVision. there was, what, 3-4 minutes of time going into the third
I think
phase?
there was about 4.5.
Yeah, and they were able to hold through the entirety of that with a good, what, 2.5 minutes being at the doorway. So honestly, well done by them. And considering, you know, you're on stage, you're in front of an audience. A lot of them, this is like their second time, or for Shane, it's his first time ever being here.
Yeah.
To be able to like regroup and take a second, you know, have that breather of, all right, guys, let's pull it together. Let's figure out what's going wrong. Let's change it mid-game, and then just put up a good defense. I think they have every opportunity to finish this. Saini, get him in a position on the Widowmaker to do something, you know? Let him have an opportunity to open up these fights. Then from there, try to control Otto. Because Otto's Genji, they haven't had an answer to it. On Oasis, they had no answer at all. You saw the 3 objective kills for that man, meaning he was constantly diving with himself and his team. Get a response to him, somehow deal with him. Maybe, I think is Winston, like, indirectly got a nerf because of defense matrix change.
Yeah.
In this last, or in the last Diva change, I guess I could say. So it's really hard to play Winston against Genji now when you don't have enough protection to, you know, to keep you alive from the Diva.
There we go. We just saw McGravy. We heard during Contenders that, you know, EnVision, they're an emotional team. They really do feed off the energy of McGravy. And right there, he looked pretty composed. He didn't look beaten. So that's great to see out of him.
Yeah, and I remember, you know, hearing there was a shutdown of communication in their the first match they had on day 1 of the tournament, and hopefully for them, you know, that hasn't been a factor in this match. I mean, I'm looking at their faces, you know, behind me, and I saw them on the screen there. They're looking happy. I mean, I see Flame or Fire. I keep calling him Flame. I don't know why. it's close enough, right? No, you keep see Fire with a smile on his face. McGravy's talking quite a bit. Shane looks calm now.
Saini looks amazing with his hair.
His hair. I'm so envious of that. Dear Lord.
You and me both. You and me both. Now it's going to be MVP space on the offense. They're going to go with that triple DPS. It's going to be the Widow battles coming out. Excuse me, on the defense is MVP space. Kuki with the Widowmaker. Saini trying to take that heads-up battle.
I mean, you're not wrong, because they're going to be very aggressive and offensive with this defensive composition, so you're definitely not wrong there.
That's how you have to play it, right? Yeah.
Exactly. And now Saini has the protection of an Orisa shield.
Shane goes down again. He has been the majority target on the side of MVP so far. Like, every single time he goes down first, he's recipient of most of these reses.
I mean, it's Orisa. Like, you don't have any mobility. You get discorded. You have a head the size of a watermelon. You're just going to fall. But MVP put on a little bit of a defense here. They're eventually going to back away after they've lost this choke point. Yeah. So they should be backing away off of this.
I like this. Yaki, he's just contesting the point, and there's nothing they can really do about him because they want to play a little bit more defensive on the side of EnVision.
Look at that. Otto has, like, Jaru's number. Every time Jaru tries to dive in towards the backside, he looks for Kuki there. Otto appears out of nowhere.
Jaru on the hunt for this Mercy, will be able to get the clip. It takes 2, but now he's on the hunt for Undyne. Unfortunately, not able to connect with those shots. Jaru coming up huge. Kuki will fall, and EnVision, they'll continue to push this payload forward.
There you go. That's the fire they need to make something happen. They got a clean first point take here. Can they transition this further? Saini's about to have his infra side up to see where everyone is. If he can open up, we talked about this, right, with Blank. If they can get, like, a little bit of a stagger going on here, which they just did against Yaki, then second phase becomes so easy, because when the door is open, this first defensive part, or offensive part, I guess depends where you're looking at it, is so hard to bypass when a defending team is set up.
Kuki instantly swapped off onto that Winston now, so they're back to the traditional 2-2-2. Jaru still trying to find an opening into the back line. He did draw the attention away from MVP space. That allows Saini to have a lot more space himself. With this Widowmaker, he spots out the Winston, and he knows if dive is going to come, he's instantly going to back away.
And there's no one with him right now to protect him. You can see that coming around from the backside. And immediately, McGravy reading inside is going to follow them. He did use the self-destruct to make sure to re-mech here. But Saini has gone down. Otto came from a different direction, and they will be a man short. And potentially a second. Now Fire will fall.
Oh, Otto with a 3K all by himself, taking out both supports. Pulse Bomb just to take out Shane. And with that, they're going to establish their defense. And this is important because EnVision, they got largely rolled over on this phase.
Yeah, because they got staggered when they were defending it. And they haven't been staggered. Well, they were able to stagger a little bit of MVP, but they're in the hardest part of the map, I'd say, right in the second point, where it's so hard to really make any progress. Saini's already being pressured by just the tank lineup of MVP, and Otto's looking for that 1v2 as Shane does come back. So Shane does protect his support line, but they've lost people other ways.
He will take the res out, and McGravy now getting hunted down on this baby Diva, but he's got the pocket and the melee kill to take out Yaki. And so that allows EnVision to press forward. Saini on the hunt for this Diva, gonna get the D-Mech, will clean her up. Now the payload will start marching forward.
Did we both see that correctly?
Yep.
After that kill? Did that happen?
Yes.
Okay. He did do the little dance.
Yes.
All right. Well, good. I mean, the thing is, you said before, right? This is a team that's very emotional. If McGravy's silent, they're all silent. If he's fired up and going crazy, they're going to be fired up and going crazy.
Something like that has him fired up and going crazy.
And like him getting that kill is big for them. And also now, MVP have to push out against Afara when all these choke points can be spent. You can already see Fuse very low on HP, and Jaru going for the flank. Jaru's going to look for this big kill. If he can take down Fuse, this would be huge.
Oh.
He does get spotted, though, by Undyne.
Undyne with some crazy spidey senses there will be able to get a kill onto Jaru, takes him out, and he is way out of res range for Phosix. And so it's going to be MVP space pushing forward. Undyne coming alive so far with this Zenyatta. Yaki tries to go in for that melee kill, but not going to be able to get it with the healing coming out from Phosix.
Yeah, Phosix and Fire are playing well together. On Oasis, it was a little bit of a different story. And when I say playing well together, I mean they're healing each other.
Yeah.
You know, you saw Fire get jumped on by Yaki, and Phosix immediately turns around. There has to be like a clear line of communication between your supports to make sure to keep them both healthy. Because Fire has no protection. Shane's tried, but Shane just takes too much damage trying to protect the back line.
Now, self-destruct is forced out from QOQ. He's going to be able to re-mech. We're back into the 6v6 fight as the dive comes out. There's the barrage, but no, Zany gets focused down. Self-destruct connects onto Fuse, and that's going to give them the man advantage on the side of EnVision as they continue to press forward. QOQ trying his best on this Diva, but his efforts, he's going to fall once again to the rockets of Zany.
There you go. So this will be the second point now taken for EnVision. The third point in their grasp here as McGravy's going to look to push up a little bit of damage down, but again, Zany uses the barrage. He's basically like a pawn in a game of chess. He knows he's probably going to die in these, but he gets so much focus and attention towards him that it allows them to catch Fuse off guard with the self-destruct. It allows them to get a lot bigger kills somewhere else on the map.
All right, we're now in the third portion of Junkertown here, and we've seen such crazy holds coming out. I mean, typical of most maps. Yeah, Jaru once again on the lurk in the back line. Yaki hasn't been able to keep him down so far. He was able to take out Fire. Here's the blade coming out from Otto, though.
I was expecting a pulse bomb on a Jaru there because they're all grouped up and all clumped. But it looks like they got kind of baited in. They got caught on that dive into that area. They did have a good flank, though. I'll give EnVision that. Jaru was in a really good spot.
Yeah.
But MVP able to read into it, and again, triple DPS out of them, with Kuki switching to Soldier, and Kyoku being a solo tank for them on the Diva. But because they don't have a Pharah, it's really hard for them to hold the choke like we saw EnVision do. So they should have the ability to get out through these areas, through these chokes. It's just about where they can transition into any kills after that.
Yeah, I mean, we were seeing a lot of EnVision's engages come out actually through this passageway in the top. We do have Zany dropping a little bit low. Jaru making his way in once again into the back line. No one stopping him this time. A post bomb comes out, just barely missing, but that will force out the Transcendence on the side of MVP space.
Otto very low on HP. Jaru wants to confirm this kill. He's actually going to be able to. Oh, he's at 1 HP. He's getting healed up now by Mercy. If he was able to keep him alive, as Shane will fall, but the self-destruct will finish off the kill that Jaru started.
Yeah, the res did come back out for Otto, though, but it's all EnVision so far. He was trying his best to stay alive on this Mercy. He pulls out the blaster, almost takes out Zany, but he does have that pocket Mercy to keep him safe.
Oh, he was aggressive. He was ballsy there, but it doesn't matter because the kills have come against him. Yaki's going to fall to Shane, able to pick up some momentum, but Kuki has been able to farm his way back into this with a double and with the attack visor up.
Yeah, he's trying his best to deal with Zany, but it's just so much pressure being placed onto the back line by Jaru at this point. Yaki has lost his number. I mean, before we saw him zoning in and out for the most part. Kuki pushes forward with the tactical visor, picks up McGravy.
That's fine. They can res it if they're there. They can just res it, get back in the suit. It's an easy way to do it. This would be a great barrage out of Zany. Gonna actually use look for the kill on the Fuse, but the Transcendence, no, it's actually their own Transcendence out of Fire to keep them alive as they push back in.
Yeah, it's just the Orbs of Harmony keeping him alive for now. Fuse is able to stay alive, but there is a blade out from Otto, and every time we see it, he comes up with at least 3. There's the third. Will he get any more off of this? No, he will force back EnVision, though. And they've got only 35 seconds remaining on the clock to finish out this map.
So Fist beats Blade, Blade beats Bird, Bird beats Fist. I think we finally finished off our game of rock, paper, scissors here, because Otto gets not only 1 kill onto Phosix flying in the air, he gets a second onto Zany on the Pharah, who is now switched over to the Soldier in the last 20 seconds remaining. Jamerson, we already talked about EnVision. They need this map. They need to stay alive in this series to have a chance to get through to next week. And MVP Space need to close out this map to pretty much confirm their way through into next.
Now, 2 ultimates to 2. Yaki taking out Jaru, though. We do have The res coming out once again for Shane, but still they're down a man. Jaru is out for the count so far. Otto working his way towards another blade right now. Saying he has a Soldier 76 visor up, not quite yet. It's at 93%. If he can get this, this can help them close it out.
They need to hold on a little bit longer. The visor has been used. He can spot out the one man in the backside. Kuki very low in health, and Jaru, he's got his pulse bomb, but he gets the kill to Kuki. They convert, and they're locking them in the underpass. They might be able to push this one through.
Yeah, this is overtime. This is overtime respawn timers, by the way. And so it's going to be hard for MVP Space to try and contest this. They will be able to make it onto the point. Otto with another blade, but he instantly gets focused down. McGravy takes him out. Res is coming out from both sides, but
they did it.
EnVision will complete it out. Both teams, once again, with a second opportunity to attack.
Vision really coming alive there at the end. Otto trying to be the big playmaker with the Genji, but gets shut down by McGravy on the Diva.
Yeah.
And that was so close too, because if that visor was not up, you saw what it did. It didn't get a lot of kills, but what it accomplished was keeping MVP Space the hell away from the payload to buy EnVision a second to breathe. We know how crazy and how hectic an overtime can get, and that visor really helped them. The thing is, Jaru died. He had his visor, or sorry, he had his pulse bomb. And we talked about mercies, and we talked about the importance of resing the right targets. Well, Phazix, he reses up Shane. He gets the tank up to keep beefy targets on the point, and then he leaves Jaru to die, which is fine, because Jaru's a tracer. He gets back to the point quick enough.
And it's point 3, where you have that underpass that you can use to get right back into the fight anyhow.
Yeah, so really smart decisions by Phazix there. MVP Space being pushed, but with a minute for both teams, I actually don't know who had the better first point. Now that I think about it, I think it was relatively similar.
It was fairly similar, yes. It really was. There was just like one really, engagement coming out from both sides on their defense, and then they just kind of crumbled and gave it up. But now, it's going to be EnVision on the defensive end here, and so they're going to instantly put McGravy on the Diva, while Saini, he's not going to go for the Widowmaker this time. He just wants raw, brute power and fighting ability with that Cowboy. And
he wants to not let Yaki and Otto feel comfortable. They try to dive in towards Phazix, who again has been just dove time and time again, so offering a little bit of protection is going to be big. 40 seconds to go already, 20 seconds off the board. And look where EnVision are holding, trying to maintain this choke point, trying not to let them get out through these doors.
Yeah, they just need to farm these ultimates. I mean, it's McCree, right? Every time he hits, he ends up getting like 5 to 10% towards his ultimate charge, and there we go, a headshot. He's at 84%. They got the damage boosted Cowboy coming out with that Deadeye. They can find a lot of kills here. Phazix has to res back Shane into this fight as Yaki's trying his best. The fight has broken out on the point right now. He's trying to hunt down Jaru, who's got the orb on him, but the damage is not going through.
Did Yaki just juke himself? Jaru should have never been able to escape that one, and he gets away. That's going to be the Deadeye coming in. There's no one touching the payload. 5 seconds left to go. Someone's going to finally at least throw it into overtime now, but Yaki with the blade, and we have to use with the Valkyrie.
I feel like Sandy could have held on to that for just a little bit longer. There's the blade for Otto, and that's what we're looking for as he picks up fire. We do have the reses coming out. Flashbang isn't it enough for him to convert as Yaki was there to cover his teammate. And now MVP Space, they're starting to make ground with his payload as Sandy gets jumped on. He gets squashed with the help of that Winston, and with that, MVP Space will continue to push forward.
Okay, they need to be careful here. They need to regroup back up. They need to stop this at the doorway. They've given up first point. There's no way they're going to be able to stop this anymore. They know Otto doesn't have Blade. They know there's no trance. They know that there's going to be no Valkyrie. They have a Transcendence themselves. So get on that point right away, get these kills, and hold them off. MVP Space, though, Yaki needs to push up. He needs to be aggressive, and he needs to look for a pulse bomb.
Thing is, they're just going to have so much HP on the point. Kuki, he's got the Primal Rage ready. So if anyone tries to jump onto the point, he can just bat them away, build space for Yaki and for Otto to try and get the picks that they need.
They're going to drop on them. I think that's a smart move. Get on top, a high ground drop. Jaru trying to flank him in the back. He's looking for that 1v1 against Undyne. He's not able to get it just yet. He's going to have to back away. He has to be very careful because he's so far out of position. And that's going to be a big kill to Fuse.
That is huge. That's 3 kills going over in favor of EnVision. Make that a 4th as Otto falls. Transcendence used to just complete out this fight. It is in overtime. It's been in overtime for so long. Primal Rage, but the Orb of Discord is there. Finally, the zoning ulti coming out from Stadium. With that, they'll put a stop to them shortly after first.
Yeah, I can see McGravy on the screens. He's looking pretty hyped up now. That was a good defense there. It was a really good position to collapse. The hard part about overtime, though, Jamerson, is I always hate defending first.
Yeah.
Because when you defend first, it doesn't give you the ability to change to like your Maze, to your like Zaryas, to whatever it is to have that one winning game ult. Knowing the distance the enemy team has to cover on attack, means you can change your composition around for that.
Yeah.
And when you attack first, or sorry, when you defend first, you know the distance you have to push against, but it's not like you can change the comp it's not like changing your comp is going to stop them from running the one ult hit it and quit it.
And so now MVP space, they have a really good win condition for them, right? If they can just build up towards one good team fight, force them all off, just wait them until they get into overtime, there you go.
Sandy again on your screen with his ravishing hair. I was talking to him on the bus here, and he was saying that he really misses his sauna back in Finland. Apparently that's a normal thing to have like a sauna in your apartment or like within the building.
It's cold in Finland, isn't it?
But that wasn't the reason. It was just like, it's a very Finnish thing.
Oh, okay.
So I want to fact check that. Overwatch fact checkers, get back on this and go to real life fact checking. But in the meantime, it's MVP space on the defense and EnVision going on the attack, sticking with the comp they just used on defense before.
Yeah, the Roadhog is out for Kuki once again, so no Winston for them. They just want to play a little bit more close together, clumped up. And there's nothing really to try and exploit that despite or beyond just a pulse bomb coming up from Jaru.
Those discords immediately attack Jaru. Ronnie peeks the corner. Sandy's going to be damage boosted, looking for a clean kill, and can spot the hog out. Needs to hit these shots to build up towards that ultimate, as you mentioned before. Each hit's like 5 to 10%, especially the headshots.
He's at 70 already.
This is looking good. I mean, as long as he doesn't get bursted down within this, you can still see, though, Fazix sticking him. Fazix not healing any other targets because no one else is really taking damage.
Yeah, now both mechs are gone, but it's going to be Shane that takes out Undyne. Kuki, though, answers right on back, but still the reses are there for EnVision. Coming out from both sides now. Great Deadeye. Connects with some damage, not the kill quite yet, but that allows Shane to take out Otto. Now we do have the secondary res coming out from Fuse as he was able to build up that Valkyrie. He's got the chain healing, but the targets are spread out. We'll see. Secondary res comes out from Fazix now. Will he be able to bring Sani back into this, though?
The transcendence is going to be huge. The pulse bomb has landed. Otto gets himself a kill on a fire. He was only 60% away, or 60% in towards his own trans. Otto with the blade now out, not able to take Fazix out of the sky this time, but the overtime it's still taking down.
Yeah, MVP space just playing that really well. They were just farming up the damage. They were able to get the heals off, and that's why we saw that. But great self-destruct, McGravy.
Fuse
gets a kill along with that, but Fuse almost dropping low now. Shane on the hunt for a pulse bomb. Jaru comes up with 2, finishes off 3rd, taking out Fuse. And heroic plays coming out left and right between both EnVision and MVP space.
Sadie's on Widow too. Sadie needs to push up. If he can hit these shots as they come out of spawn while they're grouping up, they're going to have the man advantage, and they don't have to get that far past the door. Thing is, they know Otto has no blade. They have no ultimates themselves, but Fire, because he died so early in the last fight, he never got the chance to build his Transcendence up. He's 40% ahead of Undyne. If he can build that trance, they could do this here.
And take a look, the checkpoint is right there, just right beyond the gate. Jaru is on the lurk, just making sure that no one is getting the flank onto EnVision right now. Sani's still on this Widowmaker. He just needs to hit one good shot, but no, it's going to be Yaki. 2 kills going over. Fazix, he doesn't have a secondary res. They do have the Transcendence to fight back into this.
They have a kill onto Otto too. He has fallen. Yaki's not going to connect onto the pulse bomb. Still flanking on the backhand side. Fire trying to look for the 1v1, and Otto has cleaned up McGravy, and Otto picks up 3 more kills. This man just dashes through the entirety of EnVision and shutting down their hopes of having any chance of coming back here on Junkerstown.
Oh, how close was that? Fuse just able to farm up another Valkyrie. Remember, that's a secondary res you get, bringing them back into it. That was huge for them.
Yaki, that kill onto Sani. It forced Fazix to make the decision. Do I res Shane on Winston or do I res Sani on Widow? And Fazix made the right choice, but it made them be a man down. Jaru, a hero play here on the Tracer.
And it just came down to milliseconds, because you had mentioned right before that fight broke out that Fire, he was sitting like 5–10% away from his Transcendence.
Yeah, bursted down in like one of the initial fights around the payload while they were already in overtime. But let's be honest though, EnVision aren't out just yet. They can still pull off a draw here and take the next 2 maps. But they get to see some life out of them. It's good to see, you know, they're feeling good. You can tell the Gravy is being very vocal. There's a lot of screaming when Jaru hit that great pulse bomb. I think they're warmed up now. I think they're ready to go, and I think this series is nowhere close to done.
We'll see if they can continue to carry this momentum forward. So move on to map number 3 after this break.
你们很辛苦，想要在这片废土上活下去。但是面对现实吧，世界末日说来就来，过去的日子只是一场梦，是时候了，该清醒了。他们以为可以把我们的土地送给那帮机器，他们错了，我们赢了。这一切现在属于我们，我们在废墟里建起了这个新家园。到废料场来吧。没有规矩，没有同情，这里强者为王。我是你们的女王，欢迎见证末日。欢迎来到扎克镇。
And our MVP is that dad for bringing his son to come watch Overwatch on a Saturday afternoon.
You know what I love about being here in China and doing a live event? So when people get on camera, they don't dab. Thank God.
Except for our players.
Oh, yeah.
Except for our players.
Yeah, thanks, EnVision.
But yeah, MVP. It's going to be Fuse coming out. And why? Jason?
I think I say, why not?
Why not?
Well, Jamerson, I always answer this question.
Yeah.
But you answer this time. Why?
Okay. No,
why Fuse?
We saw there in the overtime push, he had 2 Valkyries that they needed to bring them back into this fight. Now, the first one was shut down because, well, Jaru had an amazing play, but he was able to build up a second one in that short distance, which allowed them to get the next resurrection off in that last team fight.
He definitely was a lot harder to kill than EnVision made it out to be.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my brother saying that he's very easy to kill, and he was always out of position quite a bit. Looks like he was able to change things up in his day off. And yeah, perform quite a bit better. It was definitely really hard to kill. You saw Jaru struggling a little bit. Jaru did have a couple of great kills onto him though.
He did.
Good flanks.
Yeah.
But I think it was Undyne as well, kind of an MVP, being that like sentry, wherever he is, always spotting out the flanks.
No, he was basically, he was a Torbjorn turret. Every time the Tracer turned her head, there we go. Discord on him or orbs to the face. It was really great to see coming out from Undyne, but now we're moving on to map number 3. Now, if EnVision can still draw this out, if they get the next 2 maps, they keep their tournament hopes alive.
Yeah, I believe so. And if they lose this next map, are we 100% sure on this? You're 100% sure on this? Okay. Then the MVP space and Flash Rules would get through to next week.
So right now, Vici, right? 0, 0, and 2. If MVP gets the win, that puts Flash Rules and MVP with 2 victories, EnVision and Vici Gaming with 2 losses. So there's no way they can get back into this. So they need this draw.
You said you were bad at math.
Well, I did it during the 3 minutes. It took me the entire 3 minutes, the entire break to actually figure that out.
It's like an SAT. You have 3 minutes remaining. Please finish your tests.
Oh, no. The SAT, I had like stomach problems, so I just breezed through it and went to the bathroom. Yeah.
See, I would have just taken my SATs on the toilet, you know?
The
I
proctors
accomplish
won't
so
let
much
you.
more on the toilet than I
proctors
do.
won't let you do that, Jason.
I will do it with the door open so they can watch I'm not cheating.
I don't know what
it's
was
not
going
like I
on,
hit something
actually.
somewhere on my body to look at it, and I need to specifically go to the bathroom to pull out my cheat sheet.
Now, when I was during...
I'm not smuggling cheats into the SATs, you know?
Yeah. Now, map number 3. And we are moving on to Assault. It's going to be Hanamura. And of course, this is EnVision's pick.
So, we had a Horizon Lunar Colony as a map choice. And since they lost Junkertown before against Flash Wolves, it was their choice for Horizon Lunar Colony. So maybe they're feeling a little bit more confident when it comes to this map in particular. I don't think it's actually been played. Hasn't been played so far. No, hasn't been played this week.
Yes.
It has?
Yeah. Remember we were talking about the approach where they pushed up straight through mid and they used the Valkyrie as soon as they made it onto the point?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We did do it once. We did do it once.
Yes.
So we'll see how these teams are going to be able to perform on this one. Pharah, likely possibility for like first point attacks. Second point, I don't know as much, though.
If you carry a barrage into it, a lot of teams will just go ahead and use the Pharah for that initial attack and hope something comes of it.
Well, if you can't let them set up with like a soldier, like a hit scan that can kill you, then you can just push with the Pharah and allow your Mercy to have like no pressure whatsoever on that second point to be killed.
All right, we're loaded up onto Hanamura for map number 3 between EnVision and MVP Space. EnVision on the offensive end already showing off this Widowmaker. That's Sani once again. He's going to be forced out. Kuki along with Otto jumping right on top of him, forcing out the res from Phozix.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought I saw someone through the X-ray up on the doorway.
Yeah, it was Kuki.
Yeah, it turns out to be the monkey. Sorry, the scientist.
Otto takes a little bit of body shot there, but he'll get healed right back up. As Sani just trying to find any shot so far. There was a deflect that barely missed him.
You see Phozix next to him as well. I mean, you're not really going to be able to 1v2 that. Or going to escape. You at least pressure them back. Otto has fallen to Jaru, gets the res, and Phozix now jumping in onto the point.
QOQ will get demeched here as Shane, the person that was responsible for that. And now Jaru able to open up. Otto falls. And that should be the defense just falling here to the wayside.
Maybe. I mean, they're still fighting back. Undyne's been able to actually stay alive for the most part. Yaki's back in fighting with the pulse.
Oh
Only
my
sticks
gosh.
on to Shane. Shane will fall. The res is going to be used onto him. The Valkyrie to Phozix was committed. Now Fire has Transcendence and just 7% if he can stay alive. If they need it, I say sure, so throw it in. You want to take this first point without losing it, even though it's so close. But keep in mind, if MVP Space, if they die here, they're overcommitted. And EnVision can easily train this into a second point take.
QOQ falls again, Fuse with that resurrection. He had the Valkyrie form, but instantly gets focused on down now. They're making it a fighting affair. Our MVP Space burned it down to 2 minutes and 20 seconds as Otto's going to have that blade ready to go. Now we'll see if he pops it out. No, he can't. He's fallen.
So they will take the first point. That was a hell of a fight. An MVP being very aggressive with that one. I was expecting, well, maybe if there's a Lucio on EnVision side, they would have been able to push second, but they don't have the speed they're going to need to take the point right off the bat. But they still have Trance. They have a support advantage. They know that. Problem is, the blade's going to be coming out of Otto, and Yaki's about to have a pulse bump, so Fire has to be very careful about when using his Transcendence. He needs this up for Otto's blade.
Now they have taken the high ground, but it's been contested so far. McGravy goes in first. The micro missile's doing a lot of damage, but it will get healed up. Undyne dropped low, but he's going to survive for now as Yaki. They will take out Jaru in that TVT.
He went for this flank, actually, coming around the other side. And Yaki's able to get the better of him. I think Otto was there, too, so it's kind of like a 2-on-1 situation for Jaru. So we'll just take a little bit of time here, build some ultimates. Jaru, pulse bomb almost ready to go, but this is about time for MVP Space to build up support ultimates. Undyne close to his trance. Fuse only 60% in, but that's like 30% more than he had last fight.
Yeah, and he's going toe-for-toe with Phozix here, as we do have EnVision trying to dislodge him from the high ground. Yaki falls, but it's going to be Sani who's the recipient of the res on the side of EnVision. Now they're pushing forward. They've got the Transcendence out on the point, battling Transcendence now as Fuse has gone down. Now the Transcendence is away, and that's going to allow Otto to come in with that blade. He's picked up 2. Will he get a 3rd? He has to back away because of the self-destruct. And McGravy gets back into his mech, but he's now getting focused down by 4 members of MVP.
Yeah, he does get a suicide lucky for him. Saves a lot of time, a lot of ult percent. I don't understand how falling there kills D.Va instantly. Like, you have your suit, so you come out of your suit and then you're dead in the suit. I don't know. What is down there in the world of Overwatch that kills you? Is it like some mist? Is it like a M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong kind of movie?
Miasma?
I don't have asthma. I'm sorry, Jameson.
No, it's my asthma, not yours. There we go. All right, and so 4 minutes and 17 seconds left now for EnVision, and they committed a lot of ultimates to that last fight. Jaru, once again, will fall. Undyne with the secondary sense there for the Tracer. Takes her out.
Yeah, I mean, that's an immediate retreat to EnVision. Like, when you lose one man, you know how it works on Assault. You're going to have to back away. But the thing is, like, every time MVP Space gets a fight like this and they get an early kill, Otto gets closer to another blade. And we've already seen on the prior maps how quickly he builds these up.
I mean, there's, I think, only like two moments where Otto didn't get a 3K off a blade so far in this series. And he's been a standout Genji so far for them.
Worst Genji, NA. Can't even get 3Ks every time. QOQ, though, going to be seen on point, trying to prevent them from just walking and getting free percent. Well, this Matrix and his ability to fly away to escape in the meantime. And EnVision, there's going to be attacked from so many different directions.
Undyne again. Jaru is going to be taken down by that Zenyatta, forcing back EnVision once more.
You kind of can't make that push happen unless you have control of mid-ground or you have a Transcendence, and then you transition to mid-ground control. When I say mid-ground, I mean like the medium height right above the doorway. So if you're going to go with a Trance, you're going to lose. You're going to have a bad time.
I
think they'll try to build ultimates there mostly.
I kind of want Jaru just to go back onto Genji. We know he's a great Genji. He just needs that ultimate. He needs that Dragon Blade.
I've always loved Genji on second point assault because nothing's better at closing out a game than having a reset mechanic built into the hero you're on. Those dashes do like 50 damage a slice, and if you can just chain it through multiple people, you just instantly wipe out a team.
Now EnVision once again trying to dislodge them from the high ground. We do have the Valkyrie being used. Yaki comes in, two-man pulse bomb, but it's going to be the double res out of Kha'Zix. Yaki getting focused down by that Primal Rage Winston, and it's going to be Saini. He popped that tactical visor, instantly went down.
Jaru going down to Undyne again, unfortunately. Having a really rough day against Undyne, who's pretty much stepped up, I'd say, so far in this match. Zen has been... I mean, just the information gathering alone he's been able to do in this series.
He's been
adding on the killing as well.
Yeah, he's really been doing a great job of just watching the flanks, making sure that Jaru can't get in, ever.
Well, now Sadie switching to McCree. All right. McCree's not as good on mid-ground, but with a Deadeye, can be just as deadly, if not more deadly than a Soldier. And also can help deal with Otto. They have a Trance coming up. They did burn their Valkyrie, where Fuse has been able to sit on his, or at least work towards his next one for a little bit of time. So Kha'Zix can be way behind when it comes to support ultimate battles. And MVP Space have almost 5 ultimates ready to go in for this next fight.
Now the pulse bomb was used by Jaru, did not connect. McGravy dropped low on that mech. He will get healed right back up, but it's Saini. Gets focused down by Kuki. Kuki with a double kill now. The res comes out, but that puts Kha'Zix in a tough spot. He will fall in MVP. Rinse and repeat. EnVision not able to find anything at all here on point B of Hanamura.
So
Genji?
I was... well, Saini on Genji.
Yeah, okay.
I was thinking, like, maybe everyone should go left then. Instead of going through this main doorway, just make the jump. Like, get a Lucio. Like, invest the Trance, try to make the fight work. If it doesn't work, switch to Lucio. Everyone jump across the chasm, and then move in from the side. Because then Undyne has, like, a lot of pressure towards him. He's going to be easily shoved down. He has to go back to spawn, and then he's separated from his team. So he's never safe to actually get out of spawn, and you prevent them from having that key damage dealer that Undyne's been so far.
Now, once again, they're going for this high ground push, trying to dislodge, and they did get Otto, as Shane was able to take him down. But Fuse, he's going to have that res. He's going to pop that Valkyrie, has the secondary res. No, it's gone, as Fire was able to take him out and pushes forward now with the Transcendence.
Big play to Fire. Now Otto with the blade up, though. You got to make sure this Trance is going to be there. Fire's already used it earlier on, so they're not going to have anything to stop this blade from Otto to shut him down. The Self-Destruct going to be used to zone them off the point, but Gravy's got to be careful because now the Self-Destruct's coming back in.
Now Shane does fall as Yaki was able to get that kill, and 15 seconds left, and Vision not even able to get tick quite yet. There's another blade out. It's going to be from Saini this time. He picks up one kill onto Undyne, but the rest of MVP are there. He's not going to get the healing, and now Vision are falling left, right, and center. With that, they're going to be stopped here on point B. No progress whatsoever.
Yeah, not even a third. Really unfortunate for EnVision. Saini's blade. Let's just talk about his Genji really quickly. Because he built a blade in one fight.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. It must be something they haven't practiced that often, like playing with the Genji again. Because initially, back in Contenders, they switched McGravy off of Tracer and put Jaru on it because they wanted to run double hit scan. They wanted the Soldier and they wanted the Tracer. So maybe like playing with Genji is something they haven't practiced in a while, which is why we haven't seen them really switch to that kind of composition.
Well, this is a moment where I wanted to see something changed up, right? I wanted to see Jaru back onto Genji, or possibly try to run McGravy onto Azaria, because we saw that, yeah, 5 members of MVP Space were continually holding that right side high ground. And if they're grouped up like that, well, you just need one really strong team fight, and that's what a Graviton gives you. That's what a Graviton affords you.
I think Zarya wouldn't be terrible if they still keep the D.Va in the mix. So then Shane has to get off Winston, and he has to go to D.Va, and then McGravy can play Zarya, because you need the D.Va to get like through high ground.
Put
You need that
Saini on
defense
it.
matrix. Don't
Go
do that.
triple tank.
I
Saini on Zarya?
It's a possibility. I think, I don't know, the thing is, I don't know a ton about McGravy and Jaru, like, over the long run.
Yeah.
I have more information, more knowledge about Saini and how explosive he can be as a player, so in my mind, he would be the one I'd want to keep on DPS, but triple tank, it's not a bad idea. I mean, then it makes it a lot harder for Yaki or Otto to, like, burst you down.
Yeah.
And for someone to get picked off, because it's a lot more foreboding to, like, go into triple tank that can just smack you out of the sky or smack you on the ground.
We saw every single time EnVision made that approach on the high ground. Kuki, along with Otto and Yaki, were there to focus down one of the squishies. Often it was Saini or Fire. So now it's going to be MVP Space. They're on the offense. Remember, they're already leading 2-0 in this 4-game set. This map win basically secures their spot into next week.
Yeah, this is going to be a big play for EnVision if they're going to hold on to this one. Shame. Or take him down to half HP, even lower than that. They don't want to invest the res this early. You don't want to be the first one to do it. Otto finally getting some damage. Return back onto him, and Kook is going to be the first one to fall.
Yeah, the res is there for Fuse, though, so they're just going to reset this fight, but that means that Phozix has the res advantage for the side of EnVision. Phozix dropped low, and instantly the go button is pushed by MVP. There's the dive, a double kill coming out, but still, it's going to be all MVP as 4 members are gone. McGravy about to get demeched, and that's going to allow them to take point A.
You want to take it with one person, too, because they want to clean up all these kills, not give them a chance to recontest. Since they had no progress done, there was an opportunity for them to pull that one off. No ultimates for either team, but Kyoku, 94%. Sorry, Yaki does have pulse bomb, but Kyoku has 94% on his self-destruct. That means he was doing so much damage on the D.Va there.
Well, no, D.Va, with the changes, she just builds it up so quickly. The micro missiles do so much damage. It is splash, by the way. So now Yaki gonna make the approach, try to jump in through window. See, Jaru is laying in wait though, spots him out, forces him out.
Yeah, Jaru has to be careful. He doesn't want to lose this initial engagement. Keeping Yaki in check, very important to do because Yaki's had so much freedom.
Yaki just kind of like a jack-in-the-box there, just popping out every so often now. Oh, on the way down. Now that's beautiful tracking as Jaru was able to take him. The pulse bomb comes out. Here is the blade as Otto is going to use it on to that Mercy, but the trance is there out from Fire to keep everyone alive. Forcing Saini back. Unfortunately, Otto didn't get that second swipe there now. Just kind of left wondering, what do I do here? He's starting to get focused away. He will be able to dash to safety for now as Saini gets jumped on by that D.Va. He has to be careful, stay behind that. There we go. Cleans up QOQ, and they'll be able to establish their defense. But, I mean, this is still a tall task. 5 minutes and 50 seconds left for MVP just to get a third.
I mean, didn't MVP Space do that to EnVision, though? So it's possible. They know it's possible to do it.
Yeah.
But it's not easy at all, knowing one mistake will cost you this entire match. And honestly, your entire tournament.
Yep.
Let's see, they have res, they have pulse bomb. MVP Space committed a hell of a lot into that last fight.
And even though Fire uses Transcendence, he's already at 47%.
Yep. That's actually, I think Phozix being smart, not healing, letting Fire pick that up. Just make sure to build it towards that trance, because you're going to need it every time against his blade. Kuki's going to be coming in from middle, directly down the door.
Saini on that Soldier 76, he has not been having a great day. Kuki's been on top of him this entire time now. We do have the Valkyrie out from the side of EnVision. They have to get their res, and there we go. Pulse Bomb comes out from Jaru. He does fall from that, but still he's got the res, and that's going to be EnVision forcing back MVP Space once again.
Keep in mind, though, that was a dry run out of MVP Space, and they forced out the Pulse Bomb, they forced out the Valkyrie. That's unfortunate for EnVision. They're going to be 100% behind a Valkyrie. They're going to have 1 res less. They're going to have a lot of less AoE healing. Luckily for them, they have Fire about to hit Trance, but so is Undyne. So it's not like they're going to have a major advantage in terms of that. They have to hope, and they have to bank on Saini. If he does not play safe and get his visor up and used in this fight, then I think MVP Space can close this out.
Yeah, Fire just needs to hold on to that trance for the Blade, really, and they just need to make sure that they get the information about Yaki. He's coming in, made the approach. Both supports in the back line here. Pulse Bomb came out, did not connect. Yaki's going to be forced to use that recall, but he's getting focused down. He will fall.
They need to kill Otto because Otto has Blade and they no longer have Transcendence anymore. Saini sitting back with the visor. Transcendence going to be used. He has to hold on to this one a little bit longer. He has to wait for this Trance to finish. But Otto's also waiting for his moment to shine, waiting to use this Blade and shut this one down. It's going to be Saini coming from the back. Oh, he spots out Fuse. He gets the kill. No reses for MVP Space. Great kill by Saini.
Yeah, that's a moment where the Valkyrie really worked against him. We saw that he was hanging out on top of the doorway. Here is the Blade now, therefore, coming out from Otto. He's got both orbs on him. One Discord, one Harmony. He will fall. The point is almost gone. It's QOQ coming in with the double kill, taking out both supports now. Saini trying his best to do Soldier Dance, but he will fall to the melee, and it's all MVP. And there we go, MVP. Punch their ticket into next week.
So many great individual moments from both teams. Otto, he's so smart with his blades, just being very cautious about when to use them, when not to use them. And I think there was like maybe only one trance that he didn't blade into, or sorry, one trance that he did blade into. But that was because the rest of his team, you know, Yaki and Kuki working really well together, even Kyoku, to pressure Fire over and over again, so he wouldn't feel safe enough to save that Transcendence into the later parts of the fight.
There you have it, 3 Ws under MVP Space's belts in this match against EnVision. And that means they will be moving on next week. So right now, EnVision not looking happy whatsoever.
Would you be?
No.
Flew halfway across the world, come make your debut against these international teams, and they've only been able to pick up one map so far. But I'm liking what we're seeing, though. I think they've definitely matured a bit since Contenders. They're definitely looking better as a team overall. And hopefully, you know, losses like this won't really hinder them from continuing to grow throughout the time.
你们等了1年，这我知道，我可不会轻易死掉，你也别被吓跑。午夜降临古堡，狂风无情呼号，我弗兰狂斯鼠博士也在等你们来到。去年你们玩得很嗨，彻底打败了我的小乖乖。可我也学得很快，哦，有更多的惊喜等你们到来，
真可怕！
来吧，亲爱的英雄们，不管是新朋友还是老对手，我的仆从准保会让你们大吃一惊。想不想躲在墙角瑟瑟发抖？喽啰们，战斗，战斗，直到黑夜的尽头！
The adjustments and improvements we made from our last game were noticing that we were playing too passive against Flash Wolves and that we needed to play more aggressive off of the weaknesses of other teams. Expectations are it'll be a close match against MVP, and it'll be the closest match we've had or will have in this group.
처음에 해외 와서 저희가 대회를 플레이한 것 치고 3점이라는 승점을 가졌지만 그거는 나름 만족도고 오늘 경기가 2경기 남았는데 2경기 죄다 4대 0으로 이겨가지고 조 1위로 8강을 가겠습니다.
There you hear. You want to walk away as the #1 team out of the group. Yaki doing a fantastic job on that tracer for them on Hanamura. But honestly, I want to say Undyne was one of the MVPs for that match.
Probably like MVP of the series for me.
Yeah.
Actually, him or Otto. I don't know. Him and Otto are pretty close in my book. I did like hearing Jaru say this is going to be the closest match for them. And honestly, even though it's 3-0, it definitely has been.
Junkertown came down to about 2 meters.
Yeah. And then Hanamura, I think, what, there's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes left on that for them to hold that first point, or second point, the first third of it. Really close between the two teams, and I think we've definitely seen improvement in EnVision, but I think we more importantly have seen the MVP spacer making this dive work, and that's what can happen off the back of the really good Genji played by Otto.
So we're moving on to our fourth and final map for our first set of the day. It's going to be hybrid for it. So, I mean, win or lose,
Just
you know,
say it.
already.
Just say, you know what it is.
MVP, they've secured their spot for next week. But every single map matters, right? When you're in this public-facing environment, you need to put on like your best face and put your best foot forward.
Especially for like Otto too, for people who are like kind of coming in, like you have like One Fact and Kyoku and Bianca, who like all want to show that they deserve to be like on the starting roster.
Starting
for the
roster
team.
of an Apex team, yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately for MVP though, I don't believe seeding matters out of groups.
No, seeding doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, unless it's like your two different pools, seed 1 of group and seed 2 of group, and then depends on like which one you can choose from, but I don't think it really matters.
No, I think it's just straight whatever team you want.
They just want to put, I mean, the thing is they want to put fear in the eyes of their later opponents, right? So by finishing top of the group and not really dropping too many maps, they've only dropped 1 so far, and that was to Vici Gaming, then that means that they can maybe persuade teams like GC Busan or MY or run away from choosing them.
Yeah, and so Flash Wolves themselves, you know, they took 2 losses on the map, so they're 6-2. Right now, MVP space, they're sitting on 6-1. With this map, they can actually end up first so far.
And they still have another match to go today too. So did Flash Wolves. I can't wait to see Flash Wolves against Vici as our final match of the day.
Yeah.
Or sorry, it's Flash Wolves against MVP space. I still want to see that because I want to see how Bacon Jack deals with Yaki, and I also want to see how Zonda, who has really shown up as a McCree, deals with Otto. That should be a great game between the two. But that's our last game. You still have to wait for that one.
Yeah. We still have to conclude this one, Jason.
Yeah.
So don't jump out of your seat. Yeah, it's going to be King's Row. We're making the global tour here. Now, we went down under, we went to Japan, and we're all the way in London now.
I can't remember what Oasis is.
I want to say, like, Egypt. No.
No, I want to say.
What is Symmetra? She's Indian.
Is it?
Oh wait, no,
area?
but Symmetra's not Oasis. Never mind.
Yeah, I thought it was like in the.
It looks like near the Sphinxes, so I want to say Egypt.
I have a country in mind, but I don't want to be wrong. That's the thing.
No, but they have like the sarcophagus statues and stuff on Anubis.
Yeah, Anubis is
Wait, what
Egypt.
am I doing? I'm sorry. I'm
talking about Oasis.
Yeah, we're talking about Oasis. Never mind, guys. Brain's dead. I'm brain dead.
We've only been here 3 days. We still got like 5 days of games to go, Jamerson.
I'm just looking forward to that break, Jason.
Yeah, the 3 days off. We're gonna hit up karaoke. I hope.
The Bund.
And eat a lot of good food.
Is there T in that? It's just B-U-N-D, right? The Bund?
Yeah, something like that. Yaki gonna be playing Junkrat, looks like, and Saini gonna be on Farah again. This is where we saw some great plays out on Farah before.
McGravy starting it off. Yaki now out of the equation. And Fuse doesn't like the looks of that, doesn't want to go in for that res, so they're gonna be fighting a man down so far. As Saini not able to do much so far on this Farah, but you know, he is playing that zoning style right now, just peppering them with the rockets.
I wonder that if the pressure's now off EnVision because they can't no longer qualify through the later stages, if they're going to play like out of their minds, like well, I wonder if the pressure's really that big of a thing for them. And we're going to see some kills already go through. Saini's going to be res back up. The Fire's still dead out of Yaki, able to get the flank in.
Yeah, it's a 5v5 fight now on the point, but Zany connects with that shot onto Yaki, who's over by mini health pack. They're trying to fight back into this, our MVP, but remember, this respawn distance so much closer for the offense. Here's a self-destruct coming out. I believe it was by Shane. He makes it into his mech with a sliver of HP.
And Sanee's back alive, and Sanee's landing shots. Able to get the kill over onto Fuse before. Late
But
coming out of Auto.
Auto already takes out Fozix, was able to get the mech, but Zany answered right on back. So we'll see. Fozix, he doesn't have a res. He was in spawn, so they're actually going to force them back. They're going to hold them.
Keep in mind, dying doesn't reset your res timer either, so it's 30 seconds from the moment that you res someone up. And yeah, well, it looks like they have to go back to the drawing board. They did get 2/3 done though, 96.9%.
Yeah, that was great coming off for MVP on the defense though. They just held back. They were waiting. They gave up 2 ticks, and then in the last moments, they went and engaged when they had full 6. McGravy dropped down low as Yaki is now on the hunt. There we go. He's right on top of McGravy, takes him out, forcing out the res.
And he's trying to focus on Fire again, who has fallen. Otto is able to dive with Yaki hand in hand. It looks like they will be able to hold yet again here. Red's going to use that Afonso to get McGravy back up, but probably just towards his death. But he's healing quite a few different people because he has Valkyrie popped.
Yeah,
the pulse bomb stuck.
Out for Fuse also, so they have the massive amounts of healing coming up from that chain healing. They're going to force back EnVision once again, and EnVision now, they're down to 1 minute and 40 seconds.
And EnVision looked good on Kings Row too when we saw him against Flash Wolves. But MVP really starting to kick it into 7th gear, 6th gear, 5th gear, whatever gear.
How many gears are there in the car? I've never actually driven.
6 normally.
Okay.
6. Depends on what kind of car, what kind of engine.
Self-destruct out. Is that going to be enough? Jaro picks up a double kill. Kyokyu and Fuse down now. 6v4 fight for EnVision. Shane will get demeched as Otto gets another blade. He's into the back, but there is a Transcendence for Fire.
Oh, getting a little bit aggressive there, Zany. Shane actually very low in health as well. He's not even in his suit at the moment, and Otto just getting so much freedom. Finally, Jaro's going to take him down as a Transcendence comes in out of Undyne. A little bit late.
Still, we've seen them come back from the brink. There is the res. Otto back into this. Jaro dropped down to 9 HP, but he survives for now. He backs away. It's going to be Fuse who makes it out alive. It's Otto now coming in. Jaro will fall.
Now Yaki's got another pulse bomb too, waiting for this whole hog to wear off. Gravy has some good protection out of Chain. Chain. Pulse bomb comes in, and Senny's the one to eat that one. Res will be used, and another Valkyrie to Fozzik. Such a long extended fight with only 30 seconds to go. Zany has his Deadeye up, and he's going to use it. I don't know how many targets he's going to have the opportunity to kill here, but he's at least zoning them off the point they're capturing, and he's going to save Fire with the kill on the Yaki.
Now, Fuse, he does have the Valkyrie. He uses the first res onto Undyne. We'll see if he can get into the back. He does. Brings back Kuki, but still, it's a 6v5. Yaki was not a recipient of one of those. Transcendence out again for Fire. Otto right into a blade, though, this time. Not able to get anything. There we go. Oh, just as it dissipates, that's going to be 2 kills going over in favor of MVP. 7 seconds left for EnVision, and it looks like they might hold on his side, but no. McGravy has other thoughts about that.
But Otto's still alive, and Otto's getting kills, and what he sees, he finishes off. They've been able to wipe off EnVision from the point, Jamerson, and that's going to do it. MVP will put on a first point hold.
96.9%.
0.9 repeating, actually, too.
That is a smug face if I've ever seen one, by the way. Just Otto, he knows. He knows he saved that for MVP.
To be fair, Fire. He had a transfer every blade.
He did.
And that's not easy to do, especially considering Otto wasn't dying often.
Yeah.
Otto gets so much free range to constantly build up ults, and Fire was being picked off, so he had to run back from spawn and make up for that time.
It was just a minor timing really there at the end where Otto was able to get one final slash off onto Fozix as the Transcendence was ending. And then from there, they didn't have the reses they can get back into this fight. It was just, man, how close was that?
I think this is a good learning experience for EnVision in this tournament, because they're not only playing against North American teams, they're playing against a lot of international teams, Chinese, Korean, and they get to experience a little bit more of what's out there, different styles, right? And that's what happened. That's what was so nice and what happened with APAC last year. It seems like Lunatic High and AF Blue, eventually Rogue won the grand finals, but they got to experience a little bit more. The Western world was ahead of them in terms of the meta, and ahead of them in terms of the game until pretty much after that moment. That's where they got to get some experience under their belt. And for a team who's, newer and is young like EnVision, this is such a great opportunity for them to just learn about how to improve their own style. And I think we've seen growth out of them over these last couple days.
Most definitely. They have another chance to prove themselves because there will be another match for them.
They'll be playing against Vici Gaming next.
Vici Gaming next, yes. So now, MVP space. Will they be able to get this 4th 4-0 under their belts. The only team that's perfect or gotten a perfect match win is
AF.
AF yesterday. 2 of them.
We'll be seeing them again tomorrow.
We will. Now we're loaded back up onto
Ooh.
King's Row,
Aw.
and a little bit of a different composition coming out from MVP, as Undyne is going to be on that Ana, and we got the Death Ball coming out with Yaki on the Junkrat.
I still love Ana so. Oh my gosh, Jaru almost dying there. Nice little grenade out of Yaki. I still love Ana so much. Reinhardt has a really tough time. His Kuki's going to fall into McGravy, just getting spammed away at that shield when you're up against a Roadhog and a McCree, and even a Tracer to some extent. It's really hard to ever keep your shield healthy. But MVP just have to capture the first point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say, you know, it's over already, but it's going to be a round.
Auto saved by that projected barrier now. McGravy is farming up some ultimates with that take of breathers. Auto is farming up the blade. I mean, he's been so quick with these. So it hasn't even been a minute yet. He's about to have his next one.
Yeah, I do like Kyoku's Zarya, by the way. I got to see it a lot in Apex for MVP space during the season. I think it's actually pretty top-notch. He already has 100 energy. He already has a lot of charge under his belt, too. Otto gets a reflected Deadeye kill against Sani and picks himself up a double. Thereafter gets nano boosted with the blade out. In EnVision, they've lost so many people. Phosix does use the Valkyrie, so has those 2 reses to pick up people, but will the 2 be enough?
McGravy has fallen, and Fire is still making his way back from spawn. This is where EnVision need to back off, just buy time, right? Give up a tick or 2, wait to fight in full force. Now here's a Graviton Surge, and with that, I mean, Fuse even getting in on this, taking out his counterpart, and Phosix, his Fire is trying his best, but still, they've got to be careful. Transcendence out, Pulse Bomb doesn't connect from Jaru.
Fire's trying to escape now, but look at that damage coming his way. The Fire Strike will finish him off. The thing is, EnVision are still holding on. They still haven't captured that much progress, but the ultimates are coming online. A charge to come through and not land, but it doesn't matter. This could be the final nail in the coffin of EnVision, as they're just going to straggle in one by one.
Yeah, and with that final death onto Shane, Sani not able to make it onto the point. It's going to be the perfect 4-0 for MVP space.
Not bad out of them. You got to see they have a little bit more. I don't know if that last comp on King's Row was just a King's Row specific, or if it was like a we want to have a little bit of fun.
I want to say it's just King's Row specific there. I mean, we see that often.
I still like Reinhardt quite a bit.
Junkrat, Reinhardt, and Zarya.
And Ana.
No, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Ana. I still think she's really good.
Okay, so the thing is, they don't necessarily need to speed on to the point.
No.
So you don't need a Lucio. They necessarily don't need a Transcendence. They need one good team fight. And Otto, we know he can build his blades. And with Zarya and Reinhardt on the field, Ana builds up her nano really quickly.
And she synergizes really well with Zarya.
Everyone.
Well, like Zarya in particular, because Zarya just gets stronger over time,
100%
right?
charge, throw the nano on her.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Shh, don't give away the USA or Overwatch World Cup strats.
I mean, I think you gave it away more than I did there, Jason.
No, I was watching tryouts, and
Yeah.
it was insane. Seeing Sinatra just...
Oh, yeah, Sinatra.
He matched... I'm not going to say who the other support was, but he matched the other team's Ana in ults with Gravitons and Nanos. Like, he didn't even get nanoed himself. It was ridiculous. But the team we're talking about is MVP Space, because they have been able to redeem themselves from Apex, even though they did go 2-1 in groups and did beat Lunatic High and Meta Athena. They're looking to get further here and really kind of put their foot down in their place.
And we
over
will,
Korea.
yeah, and we will see them a little bit later on.